Hey guys, it's Arteries, otherwise known as ABN in the world of Chromehounds, and today we have episode 3 of How the Game Plays and Why. I apologize in advance about the delay in between my last video and this one. I was having a ton of audio interface issues with my microphone. I think I have finally gotten that cleared up. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, guys, so as you know, in these episodes, we talk about very important factors as to how the game played, why it went down the way it did, what decisions were made, why they were important. Did we do things wrong? Did they work out? Yes or no? All of those key things. So today we have a 5v5 on Southern Walls. And this is another absolutely just bang out in your face map. I know the last two episodes were kind of the same thing, but those matches are just so much fun, so I love talking about them. So here we have a 5v5 Southern Walls, and the fight typically, almost always, is going to go down around these three hills right here on this side of the map. The reason for that is just because the other side of the map is just, there's not really good ground to fight on. Nobody's going to go down the center of the map and just get absolutely demolished from above. And so just from a perspective of both teams, it's kind of known before going into each match that the fight is typically going to go down right here. And that's, like I said, mostly due to terrain situations. So what are we going to do to fight this side of the map? Well, we have 5 of us. I think we wanted to go with some soldiers for sure, some splash, maybe a sniper or two. As we were talking about it, it's like, man, you know, this is a very up close and personal fight, right? So soldiers and splash are a must in my opinion. So I decided I was going to run cannons again, as same thing as the last two videos. We wanted to have a triple single, which Jade volunteered to do that. We had Spaceman on our team as well, who said, you know what, he always runs splash, most of the time howitzers. He's bringing one of those in this game. At the same time, we had Iback, who said, you know what, I'm going to run a stick build, and I'm going to bring snipers. Okay. Then we had Delvin, who said he was going to bring some type of soldier hound with heat rockets. Okay, so that's what we're bringing. Okay, where do we want everyone to go? All right. Well, obviously, the fight goes down here. I'm in a soldier with cannons. I'm going up here, and I think I'm going to try to grab this little hill on the left side. All right. Our triple single, who is Jade, he has to come and play this hill. This hill is a very, very good hill for a triple single to play on. And one of the key reasons for that is because a triple single always is going to have a rotorcraft, which allows them to drive up the hill and then start backing down the hill and then activate their rotorcraft or their hovercraft, and allows them to essentially fly until they fire their weapons. So it allows the triple single to get certain angles to fire the arch of their guns, you know, the arch of the trajectory of their bullets at certain angles to get good affecting splash on the other team over here. So the triple single has to play there. Okay. All right. Delvin's bringing heat rockets. Okay, you know what? I said, Delvin, let's send you here. You're going to protect our triple single. Okay, so that's 3 of us all right here. Well, if you notice, there's a little cut that comes up over here and then allows our team to kind of come up this way. So Iback said, you know what? I'm going to take my snipers over there and see if I can get any flanking fire into these guys over here. All right, that sounds good. Well, I don't really want him going over there by himself. Spaceman decided, hey, I'll back him up. So we have 2 guys going here, one with splash, one with snipes. Cannons, which is me playing this ridge line, A triple single and a heat rocket protector right here on this hill. All right. That's our game plan. What do we think the enemy is going to do? Well, there's no doubt about it. The enemy's going to come and push this hill here. And they're going to play this ridge line right here and shoot back at us. All right. But a lot of times you'll see the enemy, if they planned correctly, they will try to come and skirt down here and come fight over here to contest anyone that we might be sending over here, which is smart. You know, they probably know that we're going to do that. And if they don't do something about it, they get punished, which you're going to see later on in this video. Boy, do I have a treat. What an amazing game this was. Yeah. So, what do we think the enemy's going to bring to play against us? Well, obviously, we think they're going to have a triple single. That's almost a must on this map, in my opinion. We think they're going to have soldiers, maybe some AR naders, some cannon hounds, something. You know, they're going to have something to be up close and personal in your face. Will they bring a sniper? Yeah, maybe. There's a good ridge line kind of back over here that a sniper could go and play and get kind of like a crossfire onto the side of this hill to our triple single if he's not paying attention. So we thought they might have a sniper of some sort, you know, and then soldiers and splash. That's what we thought they were going to bring. And this is very straightforward. There's really no other way for them to play this. They're not going to send somebody to come all the way through the cut and try to come up behind us. That doesn't make any sense. These guys right here, as they're going up this way, they would see the ACVs, which is essentially the computer AI fighters on the map that would start shooting at those guys as they started coming onto our side of the map. So they would see them on the sonar as well. So that's not a good play. They're not gonna send somebody out of the fight as well to come all the way up here and grab beta com and grab alpha and come up like way over here. That they're just out of the fight and doing nothing. So they're gonna come on this side of the map and fight us. We know that for a fact. And now we know, okay, what they're probably going to send to fight against us. We have a game plan. They made a game plan. And it's just time to see, you know, how those game plans are going to work out. And I have also a treat for you guys this time because, like I said, there's a key moment in this fight about these two guys that came over here. And Spaceman was nice enough to send me his perspective. And oh boy, was it a good one. So we're going to pause this. And I'll grab that later. Okay, let's get into the gameplay. So as you can see, we're going to plan. Triple single's going to the hill. Delvin, as you can see on the sonar, is right behind him. I'm going to the left. Our other two guys you don't see on the sonar because they're going all around the cut up to the side. So we're just trying to, as quickly as possible, get in position. All right, there's our first glimpse. That is Boogly. Boogly always runs cannons. That's his cannon build right there. As you can see, he's shooting at our triple already. I'm not doing anything but trying to get in position here. And as you can see, oh boy, I noticed right there. Okay, they're sending somebody over here. Now, see, that's important because I didn't see them on sonar yet. But I know they're coming now. So now I'm trying to prepare. Okay, let's see. Let's assess. Okay, they have a treader. And something right here. I don't know. At this point, I wasn't sure what that was. But obviously, I can see that he more than likely has grenades on there. But you can see, I'm going to focus out Remney. Why? Well, I have cannons and he's on treads and he's coming at me. For treads, cannons are your absolute worst nightmare. So he also has a heat seeker. And at this point, you know, I have a huge generator on this build, huge heat output. That heat seeker is going to tear me to shreds. So as you can see, I'm just focusing him. I'm trying to make sure I get him out as quickly as possible. There, I've already taken out his treads. He's disabled and slowed down quite a bit. Now Jaybird, he's running cannon nades. That's what he ends up bringing. He's trying to help his teammate, and then, holy crap. Look at all these guys coming at me. It's 3-on-1 over here. And at this point, you can see I started to panic. I wasn't paying attention. I got bloodthirsty. I'm trying to get Rimney out of the fight. He has a heat seeker. He's on treads. Now these guys are like, they're trying to jump me. But thankfully, I have teammates behind me. I called out to them saying, and here we go. Look at the ass whooping headed for these guys right here. And boy, oh boy, was it an ass whooping. And I'm going to show you why making a plan, sticking to it, and it just working in your favor is just so good. And as you can see right here, we have Spaceman's point of view. That's these rounds coming in right here with the splash. And Iback is over there as well, shooting them in the back with snipers. I mean, look at this. He is just going to absolutely start butchering these guys from behind. And they're just all focused on me. They're just shooting at me the whole time. They're not turning around to deal with the threat behind them. Okay? And Spaceman's just having a field day with them. Boogly's getting butchered right now. Boogly's teammates started running away because they're just getting butchered up there. This is just an absolute ass whooping right here. And so this sparks the question, why in the world would the enemy team not turn around in that moment? You saw how many shots Spaceman was able to put on these guys from behind. Why in the world are they not turning around to contest those guys? Because they can't. If they try to do that, this is what's going to happen right here. I'm going to shoot them in the side. I'm going to push back on the hill. I'm going to take the ground back from them. And I'm just going to have side shots on them. Look, he's not looking at me. I mean, of course, I whiffed there. That's just a bad shot on my part. But they're trying to contend with me while getting shot in the side from two different angles. This is just top-notch gameplay right here out of my team. And all I'm trying to do is just keep these guys distracted while Spaceman just butchers them. You know, it's I mean, look, credit where credit's due. Jaybird and Rimney did push up over here to try to contend with Spaceman and Iback. But Spaceman is just, look at this. He just stripped Boogly. Lopan is sparking everywhere. All of his guns and parts are hurting. And these guys still can't really do anything about Spaceman because Iback is there helping out Spaceman. As soon as these guys try to fire at Spaceman, Iback's going to shoot at them. And if these guys back down, then I'm just going to walk back forward, and I'm going to have side shots on them as well. This is just top-tier gameplay out of my team here. Like I said, I'm not really even doing anything. I haven't really landed any good shots other than I took the tracks on Rimney, very early in the game. But it took a lot of damage to get that done. So now all I'm doing is I'm just aggroing these guys to stay focused on me while they get butchered from behind. And so now you can see I'm just fighting Lopan there. I finally put in a good shot. Smiter on the other team is trying to help out his teammates now and shoot me. You're gonna see he butchers me in the side here. He puts a great shot into me. And this is a point where I want to point out. Yes, I'm trying to aggro these guys to not look at my other teammates that are shooting them in the back. But in all reality here, I'm making a very bad play. I'm standing out in the open willingly against Smiter, who has 4 sniper rifles, 4 SE200s on his build. Arguably, this is a very bad play out of me. I'm taking a ton of damage. I've already lost a weapon now. And you can see, even though I've lost that weapon, I'm still just standing out in the open. I'm not really playing very well right here. I'm playing horribly. Delvin tries to come in and help me, and Smiter just one-shotted him in the side. So now we've lost a teammate, and Smiter has side shots on me. I'm trying to help my team, and bam, Smiter takes another weapon from me. He's got me down to half health. Now I'm very hurt, and now I decide, oh, I should back up. I should have backed up a long time ago, to be honest. It was a very bad play out of me, but you know, you live and you learn. I'm not a perfect player. I'm not the greatest player of all time. But at the end of the day, we got to keep fighting. So, battle continues, and I'm just decided I'm going to back down and just let Smiter focus on somebody else for a second. Okay, so you just see me waiting. I'm just waiting here, playing around. Okay, I don't see Smiter. Okay, I'm going. I'm going to take the ground back. My team is telling me, like, hey, these guys are starting to push us again on that side of the map. All right, they're not looking at me anymore. So the only person I have to worry about is Smiter. Hence why you can see the enemy on my sonar right here. They're right to my left. But I know because of good communication from my team that they are not looking at me. All right. I just have to worry about Smiter. So as you can see, I'm trying to juke him here. I'm trying to draw him to shoot. He puts a great shot into me again. Smiter's playing lights out this game. He's hitting all of his shots. He done killed one of our teammates. He's put a big hurting on me. But like I said, these guys weren't looking at me. So now I know, as after Smiter shoots, he has, a pretty long reload on snipers. I have enough time now to get behind this hill. So what I'm doing is I'm actively pushing these guys to get side shots in them because they weren't looking at me. And then I'm taking Smiter out of the equation. So I followed up playing very badly by actually making a smart play to follow it up. So now this has become a pretty straightforward fight now. It's just cannon versus cannons. Smiter's out of the equation. He can't see me anymore. And now I'm just going to shot wait low pan. Bam. Low pan's out. All right, now Jaybird's still not looking at me. If he turns to look at me, then my teammates are going to shoot him in the side unless he drops down below the hill. But if he drops below this hill and takes my other teammates out of the question here, what do you think my teammates are going to do? They're going to immediately start sprinting at him. It's all about, in this game, seizing opportunities, knowing when to seize that opportunity, and taking ground in the map. Whenever you are given ground, you got to take it. 9 times out of 10. So, as you can see here, I just killed his teammate, and he's like, oh, crap. I can't let a cannon hound shoot me in the side. Now he's turning at me. He's no longer looking at my other 2 teammates. And what did I just say a while ago? What's going to happen if he stops looking at them? Look at the sonar. Here they come. They're sprinting because I told them, we got good communication in this game. I told them, hey, he's not looking at y'all anymore. So they're just taking ground. And next thing you know, now we have this huge line across the battlefield, where we're just taking ground from these guys. Now Jaybird has no choice but to get out of there. He's getting splashed. I done blew a part off of him. There, I just took a cannon from him. He just got hit with nades. I mean, he's just getting butchered. Smiter's trying to help, but he really can't. He has to fully expose himself to all of us. Jay just put a good triple single shot into him. I-back sniping them. Spaceman still splashing them. I mean, these guys are getting absolutely slaughtered now. And so right now, we got to figure out how do we finish these guys off. They're the last 2. We stripped Boogly earlier on, like really early in the game. So I think I-back or Spaceman, one of them ended up finishing him off. I killed Lopan, so he's out. So that's 2 players out. And then who else did they have? Remney, the treaded guy with the heat seeker at the beginning. He got knocked out as well. So we've done killed 3 of them. They've killed 1 of us. So now it's a 4v2 at this point. At this point, they still have pretty good positioning on this hill. But there's one key thing that the enemy team did not do in this battle that I firmly believe would have probably won them this game. And that's, they didn't bring any splash. They have no triple single, no howitzers at least. I'm not a big fan of howitzers, but at least it would have been something. If they would have had a triple single on their team, working this hill where Smiter is, I would have been stripped and out of the game a long time ago. You know, arguably, if they had a triple single shooting at me, I wouldn't have played out in the open as much as I did. I would have played differently. But our two teammates, Spaceman and Iback, that were working the left side of the map, putting all that flanking fire in, the triple single on their team could have been, if they would have brought a triple single, could have been ranging them the whole time, because they don't really have cover from splash over there. But the enemy team didn't bring any splash. And this just goes into, the further details of decision making in this game. I firmly believe if they had a decent triple single player on their team, that this game would have went very differently, and they would have more than likely beat us. But they didn't. Crucial decisions that are made through this game that ultimately just have a huge deciding factor on how the game plays out. And so, knowing that right now they don't have any splash, we're just gonna start running at them. We outnumber them now. We're all hurt, sure, but they don't have any splash, so we're just gonna run at them. And look, I'll give credit where it's due. This team that we were fighting against here put up a remarkable fight. They, with all the amount of splash that we had, and stripping a key player like Boogly Snot early, as we did. Boogly is a very good player, very smart player. We took one of their key players out early, and even with that, they put up a hell of a fight. So shout out to these guys. But right here, this is where I made another decision where I think a lot of other very experienced players would disagree with me. So I wanted to talk about this. More experienced Chromehounds players would have probably pushed the top of this hill in my situation and taken the high ground from the enemy. As you can see on sonar, Smiter and Jaybird are sitting right on the other side of this hill. They're not on top of the hill, but they're right on the other side. All right? And having high ground over your opponents has always been an advantage in this game. Regardless, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an advantage. But you can see here that I'm not doing it. Okay, why? Well, I'm hurt. I'm not very healthy. I only have 2 cannons left. Jaybird and Smiter both have grenades on their build, and I know this. Now, granted, Jaybird is very hurt, okay, and he's been fighting kind of up close and personal with my team on the other side of the map, and I know he's thrown some grenades. He might not have ammo in his grenades anymore. He might have used it all, but I don't know that for sure. But why wouldn't I push the top of the hill? Well, I think the more important question is, why would I? I have teammates behind. I have a triple single behind me, and a sniper, and then Spaceman with more splash on the other side to the left of me. Why would I push the hill and take my teammates out of the equation? That makes no sense to me. More like I said, more experienced Chromehounds players would immediately, in my opinion, probably push the top of the hill, and they're probably watching this and saying, ABN, why in the hell wouldn't you take the high ground from them? Because it takes my teammate out of the equation. I know for a fact in this situation that Smiter and Jaybird both know how hurt I am. And I know because they peeked at me as I was walking up to the hill. They know that on sonar, this is me contesting the hill from them, right? So in my mind, with me knowing that they know how hurt I am, they're going to do their absolute hardest to try to knock me out of the fight. That's one less person they have to worry about. So I'm banking on the fact that they're going to get greedy and they're going to try to come over the top of this hill and knock me out. And so I'm telling my teammates, hey, I'm watching them on sonar. They're going to crest this hill to try to kill me. and I'm going to let you know when they are about to because I can see them on sonar. And so I told my team that, and then here we go. I'm watching sonar. As you can see, I'm not going to the top of the hill. And here we go. I'm like, here he comes. Here he comes, guys. Here he comes. Here he comes. And then look at this ass whooping. Bam, he gets splashed. Jade threw some triple singles at him. Iback sniped him in the side. He just got butchered. And he didn't even get a shot off on me. All because they know how hurt I am, and they need me out of the fight. If I go up to the top of that hill, and let's say even if I go up there and I actually put a good shot into Smiter, I have cannons. He has like 3 or 4 grenades on that build that he's running. As soon as I fire my cannons, he's going to throw one nade volley at me and probably strip me because that's how hurt I am. And then next thing you know, I have no weapons to fight with, and I'm rendered useless. I'm going run across the map to grab comms. But because I let him think that I was going to just play the bottom of the hill, which I was, and bank on him getting greedy to try to get me out of the game, he got punished for it. That's the difference in decision making in this game. That just hey, look, sometimes it works, sometimes they don't. But in this case, that's a very good example of you don't always have to bring the fight to the enemy. If you have teammates, let your teammates help you. It's about smart gameplay in this game. There's no reason for me to walk up to the top of that hill and get slammed in the face by grenades whenever I can let them come to me, which then lets my teammates have a shot on them. If I push the top of the hill, then I have to wait for my teammates to push forward and around the side of the hill to actually have shots on these guys. Versus if I let them come up to the top, then all of my teammates can shoot them, which is what you saw right there. And so at this point, they're playing Ring Around the Rosie around the hill. So I'm telling Jade, who's behind me in the triple, hey, go right, keep going right. And as you can see, I'm going right as well. And I'm telling Spaceman and Iback, hey, you guys go left. We're going to pinch these guys. They won't have anywhere to go. We're going to be shooting them from 2 different angles. They won't have anything to do. And at this point, I was like, you know what? Smiter, you've been shooting me in the side all game. Time to return the favor, buddy. Bam. 2 guns gone off of him right there. And at this point, I just locked in, and I'm just not missing. I'm just focused in. I'm reading him. Which way is he going to go, left or right? Bam, he walks right into that one. Jaybird just got shot in the back, so he's turning around to try to fight them. Smiter puts a good shot into me. My triple single splash them, and then bam, back to the lobby, buddy. Done. This is just top-notch gameplay out of my team here. Our coordination and teamwork in this game was so next level that even though this other team put up a hell of a fight, it just didn't matter, and that's like, God, man, this was such a fun game to play, guys. Whenever you have teammates that follow a game plan and use positioning correctly in the game, because having a game plan is one thing, but knowing how to play that game plan and having teammates that execute the game plan properly and adapting to how the gameplay is changing mid-game is just so key. It's just such a fun aspect of the game that doesn't get talked about. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed this game. This was so much fun to play. I want to give a huge shout out to my team here. Like I said, I didn't do much this game other than just kind of distract the enemy. My teammates did so much work this game and ultimately got us the win. And then another huge shout out to Iback right here. If anyone doesn't know, he's the mastermind behind getting this game playable again for us in 2025, 2026. So huge shout out to Iback. We're all super appreciative of him. And I really encourage anybody to come play this game. Come give it a shot. Even if you've never played it before, if you didn't play it, 18 years ago, whenever it was live on Xbox 360, servers, come play the game. Give it a shot. Let us help you understand the game. Let us help you make some builds and then, experiment and make your own stuff, of course, but then come try it. The game is amazing. So ahead of its time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Thank you.